Krishna shifted the conversation to the mind and its power over one's life. Let us now turn to the mind itself. Arjuna, the mind shapes our understanding and guides our determination. Just as actions are influenced by different energies, so too are our mentalities. I will show you how these forces affect our decision-making. He continued with clarity and insight. A mind governed by the mode of goodness can clearly see what should be done and what should be avoided. It understands what brings fear and what brings safety, and it can discern the paths that bind a person from those that lead to freedom. This clarity allows one to make decisions rooted in wisdom and to live a life guided by true purpose. Krishna's words painted a path for Arjuna, urging him to strive for the highest understanding and a life of balanced, purposeful action. Krishna's teachings continued, each word revealing deeper truths about the mind and its influence over life's journey. Picture, Arjuna, a mind clouded by passion, Krishna said, his voice filled with both empathy and urgency. Such a mind is often confused, unable to clearly distinguish right from wrong or see its true duties. This confusion leads to misguided decisions, causing the person to lose their way in the tangled web of desires and impulses. Krishna's expression darkened as he described a more troubling state. Then, there is the mind steeped in ignorance. It is lost in delusion and sees the world in reverse, believing what is harmful to be good, and what is good to be harmful. This distorted understanding turns life into a chaotic struggle, where every step leads further from the truth. As Arjuna listened, Krishna's voice steadied, and he spoke of strength and discipline. But there is hope in cultivating a strong will. A will in the mode of goodness is like a tree deeply rooted in the earth. Through self-discipline, it stays steady and focused. Such a person learns to control their mind, body, and senses, remaining calm even in the fiercest storms of life. Krishna's tone shifted as he described another kind of determination. By contrast, there are those whose willpower is driven by a hunger for wealth or personal success. They appear determined, but their focus is narrow and tied to the material world. Such determination belongs to the mode of passion, binding them to the outcomes of their efforts. Finally, Krishna painted a somber picture of a different struggle. And then there is the person whose will is weak, plagued by lethargy, fear, sadness, and pride. They lack self-control and are easily overwhelmed by their emotions. This state of mind belongs to the mode of ignorance, keeping them trapped in cycles of confusion and inaction. Krishna's words served as a mirror, reflecting the paths one could choose in life, urging Arjuna to recognize the qualities within himself and strive for balance, strength, and clarity in every thought and action. In a land of ancient wisdom, a wise teacher gathered seekers eager to understand the mysteries of happiness. With compassion in his eyes, he began, "O noble listeners of the Bharata lineage, let me speak to you of three kinds of happiness. The first type may seem hard to endure at the beginning, like tasting something bitter, but over time it becomes sweet, like the finest nectar. This is the happiness that arises from self-discipline, self-realization, and the cultivation of wisdom. It is the highest form of happiness and belongs to the mode of goodness." The listeners nodded, absorbing the lesson as the teacher continued. "But there is also another kind of happiness," he said. "This one feels delightful at first, as sweet as honey on the tongue. It springs from indulging in pleasures that gratify the senses and satisfy worldly desires. Yet, as time passes, its sweetness fades and leaves behind the bitterness of dissatisfaction, much like a poison. Such fleeting joy belongs to the mode of passion, drawing people into cycles of craving and disappointment." With a more somber tone, the teacher spoke of the third type. "Lastly, there is a kind of happiness born from illusion. It comes from laziness, ignorance, or mere distraction. It may appear pleasant in moments of idle ease, but it deceives the heart, leaving emptiness in its wake. This kind of happiness is never truly fulfilling and belongs to the mode of ignorance. It entangles the spirit in darkness from beginning to end." The wise teacher paused, his gaze sweeping across the gathered faces. "Know this," he said, "there is no living being on earth or in the heavens who escapes the influence of these three modes of nature. They touch all of us, shaping the joys and sorrows of our lives." With this, the teacher's words illuminated the paths each soul could walk, guiding all who listened toward deeper understanding of the forces that shape their happiness. Gathering his students around, the wise teacher began to reveal the intricate roles that shape human society. "Listen well," he said. Every person is influenced by the modes of nature, which determine their natural tendencies and duties. Accordingly, society is made up of different groups: the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, each defined by their unique qualities and roles. The teacher's eyes softened as he described the first group. Those born with the qualities of a Brahmana possess a natural calmness and self-control. They practice purity, patience, and truthfulness in all that they do. Their lives are devoted to knowledge, wisdom, and faith in a higher power. Such people guide others and perform their duties through teaching and spiritual practices. In these words, Krishna revealed the complex layers of human behavior and the qualities that shape each choice. He urged Arjuna to strive for awareness, balance, and wisdom in every action, guiding him closer to the path of liberation.